Hi there, I'm Steph, and I'm a veteran cosplayer with over 20 years of experience. I'm here to chat with you about the importance of foundation layers in your cosplay. Foundation layers are clothing pieces that give structure, support, and shape to the rest of your garment. Let's take, for example, Elphelt's Petticoat. But is it really a standard petty or something else? Let's take a look at the shape.
A traditional petticoat comes out from the waist, but we can see Elphelt's hip and waist clearly in the silhouette. The open back also shows part of the waist. This leads me to believe our petty is closer to a tutu and basque. A basque can start lower than the waist while still supporting layers of fabric. So we're going to combine a basque with elements of a tutu and a petticoat. Now that we have a plan, let's talk about the materials. I have cotton for the basque and ruffled layers, tulle and diamond netting for structure, and elastic and hook and bars for closures.
Now, let's get started.
Let's first measure the upper hip, and the distance between the two. These are the measurements for a basque. Using half the upper hip length and distance measurements, make a rectangle, then slash and spread it until the bottom is hip length. Add 2.5 inches at the end, and now we have our guide to cut the fabric. I first flatline the cotton and coattail to create one fabric. I like to draw all my marks, including where the ruffled rows go later. Next, we add our elastic to the top of the band, stretching slightly at the curves. Then fold over and sew the right side of the basque. Finally, we sew the hook and bars. I added multiple rows to accommodate more sizing. To eliminate bulk and weight, I'm only adding the ruffles to the ends, so the flat portion is just our elongated basque pattern. For the ruffles, I cut 3 strips for each row, making sure to serge them and mark the centers. Once hemmed, I do a gather at the top but wait to actually gather it. Once gathered to size, I sew them to the flat layers. When cutting the tulle and netting, I double them up and use 3 strips per row. This way we are getting more structure with limited layers. Now we're going to sew all of our layers to the basque starting at the top. The cotton layers are gently gathered where the body naturally rounds. The netting and tulle layers are gathered equally across. And with a little bit of steam, our weird petticoat tutu combo is done. If you're concerned about this riding up, you can attach Elphelt's black shorts directly to the bottom of the basque, since tutus typically have a panty. Remember, there's no one way to cosplay, but I hope this tutorial helps you in future foundation construction.